Great, well, thank you so much. I just wanted to say thank you to Vue for being such gracious hosts to me and BigCommerce. And then also all of you, the attendees, for being here and for giving me the opportunity to talk to you today about building e-commerce storefronts with BigCommerce and Vue using Nuxt and the Storefront UI library. But let's get started with a couple intros. First, what is BigCommerce? BigCommerce is an e-commerce SaaS platform that's located around the world, but we actually have our headquarters here in Austin, so we're locally based, and there's a couple of us here today. As an e-commerce SaaS platform, our mission is to help merchants thrive at every stage of their growth and also to grow into those next stages. So how do we do that? We do that by being secure, flexible, API first. What that means is we provide compliance with what merchants need to sell, the regulations that merchants need to follow to sell globally. But we also focus on providing the customizability, flexibility, and APIs that are necessary for merchants and developers alike to build the e-commerce storefronts that meet the merchant's business needs. So with BigCommerce, you can use our conversion-optimized storefront engine, which is hosted on BigCommerce's servers, or you can decouple and build it your own, which is what I'm going to be talking about today. You can do that with your favorite CMS, DXP, PWA, so whether that's Nuxt, WordPress, whatever it is. We offer a number of starter plugins or out-of-the-box functionality, and then lots of developer enablement to help you with that. Who am I? I'm a technical product manager at BigCommerce, so my primary users are developers and partners like you guys. All right, so today I'm going to show you how to power a headless storefront with Nuxt, Storefront UI, and BigCommerce. So a couple things, I just want to call out that this is a work in progress, so you're going to see some very basic e-commerce functionality, enough to get the shopper through the full flow, but there is a lot that needs to be done and extended. Our goal is really to give developers starter code to get there, rather than providing everything that they need out of the box. I've also done a couple things in the back end to get ready because of time, as somebody else said. Let's see, there we go. So I installed some dependencies. I also created a BigCommerce store, which is necessary to getting the connection between the headless Vue or Nuxt site and BigCommerce. You can sign up here at developer.bigcommerce.com/sandbox/vue to get a developer sandbox account and start coding. Just to note that that is not a transacting store, so you, of course, can't actually get orders and sell to shoppers there. So in the background, while I talk to you guys or tell you guys a little bit about like what is going on here, I am going to start the server, my local one. And while that's going, go back and show you a couple of things that are powering what's making this storefront run. So first, we're using the Vue.js-based storefront UI components. What this is doing is really just rendering the storefront for the shopper, so powering what the shopper sees. This has been really cool. Like, obviously, we're an e-commerce platform, so it's fun to see somebody focused on providing so many e-commerce components and things that are necessary, as you can see over here, to building a fully functioning and differentiated shopping experience. So things like call to actions, the product gallery, add to cart, et cetera. And then there's also BigCommerce. So this is actually, and I'll show you the home. This is the BigCommerce control panel, which is the admin interface for where merchants and developers log in to either build their apps or run and set up their stores. The big thing I do want to show you here, I've already gone through and set up some things. It's really easy. There's 4 required steps. You can do it in minutes. But is the advanced settings here, which is where you will actually create API accounts that are going to be necessary for actually running the headless storefront. All right, so I believe if things all went well, yep, we should have a running storefront. All right, if I can click and do this. All right, so here we go. So what you're seeing here is I'm just on the master branch of the starter code. It's pulling in, connected to the BigCommerce store I just showed using API credentials. And what it's doing is using the BigCommerce storefront GraphQL API to pull back the product and catalog data to build a couple of these key pages, One being this what we call the product list, but also to the data that's needed to drill down and show the product detail pages. It also has the functionality or capabilities to show options, which is just like the different choices that a shopper can choose when they're picking their product. You'll see that there's still obviously the nav at the top and the ability to go back pretty easily. And then the final piece, which is critical into an e-commerce storefront, which is checkout. So we'll click here and click Buy Now. What this actually is doing, just for the simplicity and purpose of this demo, is actually redirecting to the hosted BigCommerce storefront checkout. This is a PCI compliant checkout, which means that the merchant or developer does not have to worry about adding those regulations in or any security issues there. So I'm really quickly going to just show you how easy it is. This is all controlled by BigCommerce and can be customized by the merchant as needed. Oh, and I thought I had autofill. I actually might just skip this for time's sakes, and go back. But as you can see, it's just the shopper goes through and it does a test checkout. So let's talk about what is powering the storefront, the headless storefront behind the scenes. So, and how did we build that product list page? I showed the product detail pages, and then how did we redirect to checkout? So as I mentioned, we're using the GraphQL API. That's actually the code that you can see there on the right. It's pulling back all the critical product and catalog data to, one, just create that product list page, but also create the dynamic product pages with product routing. So you can also see that's actually the page file, this _slug.vue that's doing that. So we also pulled in, and you can see, or it is actually not there, but that we're using a number of different storefront UI components. Some of the key ones I called out, but by no means an exhaustive list, is SF product option, SF product card. This really just comes out of the box, is super easy to use. And then, as I mentioned, there's the cart redirect, which you can see we get an add to cart URL in the callback, and then can redirect the shopper to that hosted checkout. All right, so that was real quick and dirty flow for shopper to checkout, but pretty sure that that's not what most merchants are gonna want and what you as a developer might need to do for your clients. So how do you make this bigger, support bigger use cases? Well, so there's a number of different scenarios that you might want to solve for, and things that BigCommerce makes really easy to solve for. Things like multi-site, so whether it's you have a merchant has a B2C brand and then also a B2B brand and needs to sell their products appropriately to those different segments. There's also multi-region and international, which you can enable using some of our various APIs, like here you can see channel and listings APIs. We have multi-currency, and that's going to enable a merchant to sell to shoppers in the United States in English and the USD, and for example, shoppers in France in French and the Euro. So there's, as you can see here, I listed, there's developer.bigcommerce.com/API docs. We have a ton more just beyond this, and we're consistently adding more. So if you're interested in seeing what more there is, I definitely encourage you to check that out. And really, that's it for me. Thank you guys so much. Please look at any of these resources. You can see the GitHub link for the starter code that I demoed and spun up today. You can follow BigCommerce at BigCommerce Devs. We actually also have a booth, so please come talk to us if you are interested in e-commerce, want to know more, just want to shoot the chat, like whatever you want. All right, thank you.